Good morning, everyone. My name is Jen. Thank you for joining us for this morning's Strong and Steady class. Let's go ahead and begin by getting warmed up. I'm seated here in my folding chair. I have a pair of dumbbells with me at the side, and I have a 6-foot stick. You could also be using a broom handle if that is what you have available to you. All right, let's go ahead and extend our arms out from our sides and begin doing small circles. You can be doing this seated, you can be doing this standing, whichever you prefer. There are going to be movements today where we are going to be doing both things, standing and seated. We have 5 circuits, and we're going to go through each circuit 3 times, 8 repetitions. Okay, let's change directions within our circles. And we're focusing on warming up those shoulders, getting that blood flow going into our upper extremities. Okay, now let's go ahead and do some big circles.
Did you mute us?
Oh, thank you. I did not mute you. I will do so now. Continue with your circles. Thank you, Francis.
You don't want to hear it.
All right. Good. Get those arms and chest and back warmed up. Good. Go ahead and open and close. Open the chest, open the shoulder blades, alternating the arm that's on top. Good. And I'm seated in the chair, and I'm going to go ahead and come to standing. And I'm going to do some hinges. So hands on hips. Feet are slightly wider than my hips. I have a nice soft bend in my knees. And then I'm going to hinge at the waist, lowering a flat back toward the ground. And I always talk about this sensation of melting belly button through sternum toward the ground. We don't want to round through the back. We want to go through nice and neutral in our spine. So we get blood flow and stretch in the back side of our legs and our butt. Good. And now as we're able, we're going to bend at the knee. We're going to do some squats. So I always like to cross my arms out in front with my elbows parallel to my armpits and squat. Neutral spine, belly button tucked in, weight in your heels. Good. Nice job. Okay. So what we have on tap today is a number of combo movements. So that means we're not just doing one movement specifically. We're going to make our brains work a little bit and combine movements together. So the first one is going to be a squat to RDL. Now we've done this one before. We can use our dumbbell or not. We can use 2 dumbbells or just 1. Okay. So if you're using 1, I would grab it by the ears, tuck it right below your rib cage. So your elbows are right under your shoulders and they're squeezed into your ribs. So you're engaging your lats. If you had 2 dumbbells, I would hold them somewhat similarly like this. So you have the weight loaded into your core. Now we're going to do, you can use your chair here, chair squats to RDL, or just just squats without the chair. Now, the chair is sometimes really helpful because it gives us some comfort in terms of how deeply and safely we can get into our squat. Just make sure your weight stays in your heels as you do this, okay? So I will have the squat here. I'll give you the sideways view of me. So we would do a squat and rise, and then hinge and rise, and that's 1, okay? So let's continue. Squat and rise, hinge and rise. That's 2. 3. 4. And controlling your depth. Making sure you're exhaling. to engage your core. 7, and hinge, and you should feel a definite difference in where you're carrying your load as you do those 2 different movements. Okay, now we have a bent over row to kickback. Okay, so I'm gonna have the chair here to help stabilize if I need it. So my hand would be extended. I have the dumbbell in my left hand and I'm bent over. My back is still nice and straight. My weight is evenly distributed on my feet. I'm gonna row by pulling my elbow up to my armpit and then lengthen and extend my arms straight back for kickback and down. Row and kickback. 2, row and kickback. 3, nice and slow. Exhale, kickback. And remember, every time we row, we're thinking back. My back muscles are pulling, contracting. 7 and 8. Good. Now, if you don't need the chair for balance or stability, don't use it, but that's what it's there for. Okay, so now we're on the right side, and I'm using the back of the chair here, and I'm not bent over to perpendicular or parallel to the ground. Rather, I'm about at a nice 45. Okay, ready? Row and kick back right. And we're focusing on being as still and stable as we can. And we're rowing against gravity. 4, 5. Isometric hold as that arm straightens. 7 and 8. Okay, so here we go. Now we're gonna do boat pose tricep extensions. So we're doubling up on our tricep work. So we're seated on the edge of our chair, weight on our sacrum and not on our sit bones. Now, boat pose, we're gonna lean back a nice straight spine as deeply as you can maintain, and it's in your core. You shouldn't feel this loading in your back. You shouldn't be arched. Okay, so if you feel like you're arching your back too much out of neutral, move forward just a little bit, okay? All right, now tricep extension, 1 or 2, it's up to you. We're gonna lift our arms up over our chest, then bend at the elbows, dropping the weight behind our heads. And straighten for 1, 2, and again, we're staying as still as we can. 4, 5, 6, 7, belly button the spine, and 8. Good, now lower the weights back down to your side. Elbows into your rib cage. We're going right back into the chair squats to RDL. Elbows squeeze into the ribs, arms at a nice right angle. Knees naturally extended out from the hips, heels to the ground. Exhale and rise. Rise, and then RDL. And sit. Rise. RDL. And sit. 2. RDL and hinge are the same thing for these purposes. 4. Really focus on keeping your weight in your heels throughout this, everyone. 2 more. Rise, hinge, rise, and sit with control. Rise, hinge, up, and sit. Okay, good. Now we're back to our row to kick back. So position your chair to balance as you need it. Nice neutral stance, hinging forward, hand in the back of the chair if you need to, okay? Let that arm dangle down from the armpit. Exhale as you row and kick back and return. Now we are doing unilateral work here. So one side is working and the other side is not. So you really have to focus to engage your core on both sides. 6, 7, squeezing armpit to hip. 8, good. Okay, let's switch to the right hand now. All right, nice hinge. Stance is very even. Hinge forward. Lower the weight right under your armpit. Exhale as you squeeze and pull elbow and extend. 1. Back and tricep. 2. 3. Nice and slow, being mindful your isometric hold is with that arm extended parallel to the ground. 5. 6. Don't let your shoulders rise up. 7. And 8. Good. Okay, now we're going to sit back down, boat pose, tricep extension. Okay, sitting back in boat pose. When I'm in boat pose, I like to peel my toes up off the ground so my heels are into the ground. Don't let your knees collapse. Okay, make sure that they are in line with your hips. Extend those dumbbells over your chest. Bend at the elbow to lower them behind your head and straighten for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale as you contract the triceps and belly button to spine. Make that tummy nice and tight. 7 and 8. Good. Lower the weights with control. Elbows locked in. And we're finishing this last set of chair squats to RDL. Ready? Heels into the ground. Knees separated. Exhale. Rise and hinge. And squat, rise, hinge, and rise. Nice tight belly throughout. Sit, stand, hinge, and stand. Now the tricky part here really is, what is my center of gravity? Where should I be maintaining? Here, as I vary my movement and always think my core, my pelvis is my center of gravity here. So keep it back. 7, tight core. Last one, sit, rise, hinge, and rise. Good, okay. Last round of bent over row to kickback. All right, feet are parallel, slightly wider than my hips. I'm hinging forward, neutral spine, lower my weight. Exhale, contract and contract. Back and tricep for 2. 3. And sometimes I like to extend my other arm underneath my armpit and focus on its stillness. Contract, contract. So then I can be really aware of how still I'm keeping my core. Last one. Good. Okay, let's switch sides. All right, ready. Bent over, nice 45-degree back, not rounding in the back, nice and flat. Exhale as you pull and extend. And again, I have my left arm just hanging underneath my armpit, staying nice and still. Good. 6, squeeze as the arm lengthens. 7, row, kick back, bend and return. That's 8. Okay, let's have a seat for our last boat pose tricep extension. I like boat pose because it forces us to really think about stabilizing with our core, okay? So make sure that's your predominant thought to start, okay? Get yourself in a position where you can maintain a neutral spine, a natural curvature of your spine, but engage your core to do so, okay? So no slumping, nice soft tops to shoulders, relax neck. Sit back on your sacrum just a little bit. Elevate those dumbbells right over your shoulders, arms are straight, and then bend at the elbow, let them drift behind the head, and exhale as you straighten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Lower those dumbbells with control, elbows in. All right, here we go. We're on the circuit 2. Go ahead and get a drink now if you need to. For the first 2 movements, it is a combo movement and we don't need our weights, but keep them close because we'll need them for the second 2. Okay, so we're gonna start with a combo movement as I mentioned. Now, last class we did this not as a combo movement. In the first circuit, we did it just as a movement, and the second we did this alternate movement, and here's what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna be in a modified tabletop using our chair. Okay, so that means we're bent over, we have nice right angles here. Okay, we're gonna start with a back kick. Okay, so as I'm facing you, I'm gonna demonstrate with my left leg. So I'm basically gonna extend back so my leg is straight back from my hips. I'm contracting through that hamstring. That's my kickback. Okay. So I'm thinking the hamstring, that's the muscles in the back of my leg. They are contracting as my heel extends to the wall, and I'm finishing with heel to the wall, leg is straight. Okay, so that's the first part of the movement. So we're gonna do a kick back, draw the knee in, and then we're gonna do a hydrant. So then we're gonna open up laterally, contracting through the glutes to the side as well as the side oblique. Okay, so let me show that to you one more time. Kick back, draw the knee in, and open the hydrant, lifting the knee out to the side. Now you want to maintain parallel hips, parallel shoulders, straight arms. We don't want to feel like we're buckling to open up and lift that leg. Just contract through your oblique and your glute as well as you're able to lift the knee up, okay? So don't go for a massive amount of height here, just go for good feeling in those muscles, those target areas. Okay, so that's your combo. So we'll do kick back, hydrant, that's 1. Back, hydrant, that's 2. Okay, so we'll do 8 on one side, 8 on the other. The third movement is a halo. So we did that last time where we have the dumbbells up overhead and we're drawing halos because I know we're all angels here. Halos overhead, we'll do 8 small circles overhead one direction and then return the other direction. Then just to keep things interesting in our upper traps and shoulders, we're gonna go right into an elbow squeeze, shoulder press. Elbow squeeze, shoulder press. So for those of you that, the elbow squeeze, we have our elbows extended out from our shoulders, straight out from our chest. We're gonna hold onto those dumbbells as our wrists are stacked over our elbows, and we're gonna press our elbows together, creating warmth and tension in our chest. And then we'll open up so our elbows are extended out from our ears and do our shoulder press. And so you can do that shoulder press with whichever form is best for your shoulders, whether it's wrists facing or wrists out, okay? So we're kind of doing, again, a little bit of compounding. Last set, it was compounding with the triceps. This set, we're gonna compound a little bit with the upper traps and shoulders. Okay, so you got it?
Jan?
Yes.
With the halo last week, we were doing it with one,
One weight, yep.
then we reached down and get the second one.
Correct.
Okay,
I know.
got it.
Unless you can do, if you feel like you can do your halo with 2 weights, if they're not too big, it might be a lot because we're using the same muscle groups. So just be aware, like if you feel a lot of fatigue, that you did 2 weights and you're going into this next set with 2 weights, perhaps the first set you do your halos with just 1 weight and try the second one with 2. And it feels like, oh, that was pretty easy. Then try the next one with 2, because I don't want you to try to bite off more than you can chew right off the bat. Okay, all right, let's start with our tabletop leg work. So this, we're predominantly focused on backs of our legs, right? So hamstrings and glutes, both working in the sagittal plane and then laterally. Okay. All right, so my nice bent over position, I'm gonna do my left leg first, okay? So make sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, all right? We want that nice stacked position there, and we want a nice neutral spine, okay? All right, engage your core. Exhale as you kick back. Draw the knee in and lift your hydrant. Back, in, lift for 2. Back, knee in, lift for 3. Now throughout this, you want complete stability. You should imagine that you're able to balance teacups on your pelvis. I know, why would we do that? I don't know. 7, lift, and 8. Good, okay. Let's turn it the other way. Okay, ready. So right leg's extending, knees coming in, and then coming out to the side laterally. All right, ready? Exhale, extend, knee in, lift for 1. And I'm not returning my foot to the ground at all throughout this. 3, 4. Remember, the trick is to think about the muscles you want to be using. Leg straight, knee in, lift. 6, extend, in, to the side, and down. Last one, in, to the side, and down. All right, nice job. Okay, let's go to our halos. Let's start with 1 dumbbell. Okay, so I'm grabbing it by the ears, my elbows are in. I'm gonna reach up over my head, but my elbows are gonna be slightly bent, not completely straight. All right, so we're working through some articulation work in our shoulders and our arms. Let's start drawing those circles. 1, 2, 3. And we're trying to stay as still as we can. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Change directions for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, go ahead, quickly reach down, grab that other dumbbell. Okay, now I have dumbbells out in front, right at my eyebrows almost. My elbows are together. I'm creating tension through my chest, and then open and press to the ceiling. Elbows back down, elbows closed, squeeze. Open, press to the ceiling. 2, elbows down, elbows together, open and press for 3. Down, close, open and lift for 4. Down, close, open, 5. Down, close, open, 6. Down, close, open, 7. Down, close, open, and 8. Now lower with control. Good. Okay, let's put those dumbbells down. All right, back to our tabletop kick to hydrant. Hopefully this is becoming a little bit more fluid for you. All right, nice bent over position. Weight evenly distributed. Shoulders over wrists. Exhale as you kick back, in and side and return. Back in, side, and return for 2. 1, 3, 4, side, return. 5, lift. 6, keep those arms straight, side. 7, side, and return. And 8, 2, side, and return. Good. All right, switch sides. Hip mobility, good stuff, folks. All right, now we're working on the left leg. All right, make sure you're stabilized through your shoulders and chest. Core is nice and tight, pelvis is stable. Exhale, kick back, draw the knee in, lift for 1. Back, in, lift, 2. Back, in, lift, 3. Back, in, lift, 4. And imagine that your belly button is not moving anywhere. If there were a headlight on your belly button focused on the ground, 7, lift, return, and 8, in, side, and return. Okay, good. All right, back to our halos. All right, I think 1 dumbbell is good for halos combined with that elbow squeeze to shoulder press. Okay, so I have the dumbbell by the ears, I'm up overhead, elbow slightly bent. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Make sure your feet are pressed firmly into the mat, paying attention to your heels. We don't want your knees going anywhere. Change directions for 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to stay as still as we can. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Reach for that secondary dumbbell. Okay, elbows are in. Elevate those elbows extended out from the shoulders. Those dumbbells should be at your eyebrows. Elbows in, squeeze, open, and press for 1. Down, squeeze, open, press for 2. Down, squeeze, open, 3, 4, down, squeeze those elbows out and up for 5. Squeeze, open, 6, squeeze, open, 7, squeeze, open, and 8, down all the way with control. Okay, last set of those tabletop kickbacks. Okay. All right, so remember this vision of headlights on shoulders, hips. I added one to your belly button so you could focus on that little headlamp pointed straight down, no rotation at all, okay? Ready, kick back, draw in and out, return. 2, in, out, return. 3, out, return. 4, and remember, go at the pace that works for you. If you are getting fatigued, it's better to do 6 good reps than the last 2 being sloppy or hurting yourself. Okay, that was 8. I'm gonna switch sides. All right, same bent over position. Relax in my neck and tops of shoulders, elbows over wrists. Exhale, kick back, in, lift for 1, back, in, out for 2, in, out for 3, 4, 5. And remember, we're just extending that heel out from the hip. We aren't trying to raise it higher than the hip. We want to maintain a nice neutral spine. And last one, 8. Good. Okay. Last round of halos. Dumbbells close for that elbow squeeze. Okay. All right, seated on my sits bones, heels into the ground, knees are separated. Lift up overhead. Ready, begin. Good. Nice and easy. Just stirring the pot. 6, 7, and 8. Return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now is about when you might feel some burn in your upper traps. 7 and 8. Okay. And now we're going to build on that burn with this next movement because we're going to keep it all elevated. Okay. Elbows extended out from armpits. I've got the dumbbells by my ears. I'm going to go ahead and lift. So my elbows are extended from my shoulders. The dumbbells are at my eyebrows. Squeeze my elbows open, press and down. Squeeze, open, press for 2. Squeeze, open, press for 3. Open, press for 4. Squeeze, open, press. 5. Squeeze, open, press. 6. And whatever position you need on that press is absolutely fine for those shoulders. Good, lower with control. Nice job. Okay, get a drink. We're on to our third circuit. Here we have several new things to do. A fair amount of leg work here and some balance work. Okay, and we don't need our dumbbells right for this set. So I'm gonna set it off to the side a bit. We will be using our chair, although if you felt like you didn't need as much stability as the chair provides, you could use your stick as an alternate, okay? So what we're gonna do is a body weight squat with an alternating leg raise, okay? So I will show it to you with the stick because it's a little easier to see than having the chair mask it. Okay, so I'm gonna have the stick out in front, and I'm not gonna need it much for my squat, but for my leg raise, I might want it for balance just a little bit. So I'm gonna have the base of the stick in toward my body and my arms extended out and away so I have a little bit better leverage. So I'm gonna do a squat, rise, and lift my leg. Now, it's not about the height, it's about using those lateral muscles. We're gonna use our glutes, we're gonna use our obliques, we're gonna focus on, with the stick, engaging through our lats as well. And with this utilization of the stick, we can help us focus on staying nice and straight and not bending to the side too much, okay? Because that's not what it's about, all right? It's not about the height of the leg, it's using the right muscles, having good balance, and staying tall. So squat, lift, and squat, lift, okay? So you can use a stick or you can use the chair. Both are great options. Okay, the next one is gonna be our chair plank, okay? So we covered off chair plank before. We're gonna try and hold our plank for 20 seconds as we're able. Remember, as we line up over to do our plank, we're using the base of the chair, and I'll walk you through that as we get to that. Then we have lateral lunges. Okay, so lots of lateral work today. Again, can be used with the chair or the stick. So lateral lunges. So we're going to step to the side and return. Okay, step to the side and return. That's a lateral lunge, okay? Now, to do this, we're going to have, if we're using the chair, it's gonna be centered in the middle of us where our feet are, okay? And we're gonna step to the side, return, and then we'll alternate. All right, so you can use the chair or you can use the stick, whichever that you would like. But as you open up, it's gonna be that inside leg that straightens. You're gonna shift the body weight out to the leg that's opening outside of the chair. And you want this leg to be straight to the ground, laterally, and your hips to be projecting forward, shoulders too. So don't open up this way in this lateral lunge. We're trying to open up those adductor muscles, get a nice stretch, and squeeze as you return to center. Okay, so that's our lateral lunges. And then we have horse stance heel raises. So again, we can use the stick or the chair. Now, For those of you that have been in my stretch class, you might be familiar with this. Horse stance is just seated down in your hips a couple of inches, not too deep, but your feet are really wide and your toes might be out. Now, I like this movement with the stick. I have the base of the stick in toward my body, and I'm gonna lift one heel and alternatingly raise the other one. And if I'm able to do it, I'm gonna get them going in this fashion, whereas one is lowering, the other is raising. Okay, and our head is nice and level and our shoulders are level, and it's just going into flexion in our knees, okay? So that's our horse stance heel raise. All right, so you guys got it? So there's a fair amount with either the chair or the stick. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Squat with alternating leg raise, okay? Ready? Squat, 1. Squat, 2. Feel that oblique on the side, helping to lift that leg. 3, 4. Sit. 5, 6. Obliques and glutes. 7 and 8. Nice job. Okay, now we're on chair plank. Okay, so I'm in my nice chair tabletop with my shoulders stacked over my wrists, and I'm gonna walk my feet out to the plank that I can hold, okay? Make sure your feet aren't kissing together. I'm gonna start my count now. And we're gonna try and hold this for 20 seconds today, okay? And make sure that your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, your arms are nice and straight. Tuck in that belly button. We're thinking neutral spine here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Now we're to the lateral lunge. All right, so I'm gonna center it with the chair right in front, my feet together. And as I step out to the left, my right hand is gonna grasp the back of the chair. So step to the left, right hand down and lunge, return. Step to the right, left hand down, bend the right knee and return for 2. Lunge, return. 4. And this one tends to get better and better range of motion as we go. 6. And of course, if you feel like you can do this without the aid of the chair or the stick, that's great. Okay. Now horse stance, heel raise. Okay, so this is how it looks from the side. The base of my stick is in toward my body. My arms are extended out. Ready? Lift, lift. 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, and 8, 2. And really feel like you're driving those heels up as high as you can. Okay, back to the squat with alternating leg raise. Using the stick, using the chair, or on your own. Okay, ready? Squat and raise. Squat and raise. I like to poke in that oblique that I want to be working so I can focus on core activation. 1 more on each side. Squat, raise, squat, and raise. Good. Okay, back to our chair plank. Let's go for 25 seconds this time. Okay, and you guys, you know what you can do safely. So I'm gonna hold for 25. If you need to take a break through that 25 seconds, do so. Ready, steady, and go. Shoulders over wrists, arms nice and straight. Neck is relaxed and calm. Legs are extended, belly button in. That's 10 seconds. You can do it, guys, nice and easy. All right, solid through your shoulder blades. Don't let them retract too much. We're gonna do nice and strong through the chest, strong through the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, return. All right, now we have our lateral lunges. Okay, using the chair again. All right. Okay, I'm gonna step to my left and lunge. Step to my right, 2. Using the chair as I need to, 3. If I don't need to, my hands are on my hips. 5. Hopefully you're feeling nice opening in your hips. 7. And 8. Engage your core and come back to center. Good. Okay, back to our horse stance, heel raises. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this from the front. You know what it looks like from the side. We're staying nice and level. Ready? Lift, lift. Alternating. 3, 4, 5. And you're never getting both heels down at one time here. 7 and 8. Good. All right, last round. Squat with alternating leg raises. All right, ready? Okay, here's how it looks from the side. Body weight, squat, lift. 2. Come to standing, engage your core. 3, 4. Pause at the top if you need to make sure you're getting the right core activation. You're able to keep your torso nice and still. Last one. Good. Okay. Chair plank. All right, you got it. You guessed it. It's 30 seconds this time, okay? Get into your position. Ready, steady, and go. All right, so first start with the top of your head. Visualize that your spine is nice and lengthened, including through your neck. So you don't feel tension in your neck. You feel nice and light in the jaw. Extending down through your lats, you're nice and strong. You can feel that warmth from armpit all the way through your hips. Your pelvis is nice and stable. Your legs are extended out, straight out from your hips, and you're done. All right, nice job. Okay, now we have our lateral lunges. Using our chair, using our stick, whichever is best for you. Okay, nice and centered. I'm gonna step out to the left, ready, go. 1. And actually the chair is kind of a nice tool for us to measure. It's a frame of reference so we can see, am I getting really distant on each side? Is one side better than the other? 7 and 8. Now, if you find that you can't go out as wide and come back in smoothly, only go to the distance that you can smoothly. Focus on being strong in the range of motion that you have. Now we're back to our horsey stance, heel raises. Now, for those of you that find this really easy, let's go double time. Heels don't go down to the ground, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get all the way up to the toes. 8. Good. I think I did one extra, but we were in balance, so it's okay. All right, nice job, guys. Now we're on to our last round. Okay, so we are last active round. So get a drink here if you need it. We have 3 things, but all of them are combo movements, okay? So we're gonna do a curtsy lunge, which is something new. And with our curtsy lunge, we're gonna add in a bicep curl. So you can add weights or not add weights, depending on how you feel about the movement. Okay, so a curtsy lunge is essentially doing a curtsy, right? So I'm going to put my weight predominantly on my right foot. Left foot, I'm gonna step back behind that foot with my right leg. I'm gonna plant it in the ground and then bend at the knee, okay? So it can be kind of fluid. Oops. All right, I want you to bend the knee only as much as you can comfortably. And as you reach back, just like a regular lunge, you're going to be offsetting some of the weight distribution into your back butt, as I always say, into those glutes. All right, so not all that weight is going to be on that front leg. It's just that we're changing the position of the leg. Instead of reaching straight back, we're going to cross back just a little bit. So it's going to change the dynamics of the muscle work. Okay, so we're going to alternate as I was demonstrating, and as we rise, we're going to add in the bicep curl. Okay, so as I said, if you feel comfortable with the movement, grab your dumbbells. If you don't, just do open hands, okay? So that's the first one. Then we're going to do a combo of reverse fly and row, okay? So we're going to do that in a bent over position. Those are both for our backs. So we're going to be bent over, and our fly is rounded arms and row is elbows up. Okay, so that's that combo. And then we're going to go into a seated press and fly. So after we do the combo back work, then we'll do the combo chest work where we're seated back into our little boat pose, and we're going to press and fly. Press and fly. Okay, so that's our 3 movements, but because they're combos, they're very full. They're multi-joint movements, and we have a lot going on in all of them. Okay, so we're going to just do 3 in this last strength building circuit. Okay, so let's start with that curtsy lunge bicep curl. You ready? We've got 8 of them. Now, you can do the bicep curl in a traditional palm up format, or you can do hammer curl. It's entirely up to you with whatever you're most comfortable. Okay, ready? All right, reaching back, curtsy and curl. Reaching back, curtsy and curl. 2, 3, 4. Now, you don't need to bring that knee all the way down. Just focus on activating through that back glute. And 8. Good. Okay, now we have a reverse fly and row. Okay, so we're hinged, back is at a 45-degree angle. Arms are rounded. Okay, ready? Exhale, elbows to the ceiling and up. Open and up for 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse fly and row for 6, fly and row for 7, fly and row for 8. Nice. Okay, back to our chair. And now same sort of combo thought process here, okay? So we're seated back a little bit, neutral spine, we're not hunched over, and we're gonna press and fly from our chest here, okay? So press up and down, round the arms, open and fly, down and up, rounded and fly for 2, down and up, rounded and fly for 3, down, up, into a round, open for 4, down, up, open for 5. As your arms come down, they go into that rounded position, ready for your chest fly. 7, press and down, fly for 8. Good. Okay, back to the curtsy lunge bicep curl. Okay, ready, steady, and go. Now, some people like to curl as they go into this lunge. Some people like to curl as they rise. Whatever you like is fine. Just keep that weight centered in your core. 7, and 8. Good. Okay, bent over, flies in rows. Let's work on that back. Arms surrounded. Pull from the back and elbows. Reverse fly and row for 2. Think with your back, not with your chest. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Okay, back to the chair. Press and fly in the chair. The flip side here. Okay, ready? Back on the sacrum. Lean back as you're able. Engage your core. Press down, rounded, open, and 1. Press, elbows down, rounded, open for 2, and press. Rounded, open for 3, press. Rounded, open for 4, press. Rounded, open for 5, press. Rounded, open for 6, open for 7, and open for 8. Good. All right, nice job. Okay, we have one more set. All right, curtsy lunge. Okay, ready, steady, go. Now this time, I'm doing my curtsy lunge and I'm curling as I rise. But I'm always thinking as I'm moving, I've got a nice solid core and it's working straight up and down. Good, okay. Rows, last round, rounded arms. Open for fly, elbows up for row. Working through the back for 2. Fly and row. Reverse fly and row. Remember, these are all reverse flies. 7 and 8. Good, okay. And here's the chair. And now we're back to the chest work. All right, seated on your sacrum, engage your core. Lengthen your spine, add an angle. All right, elbows to your sides. Weight over your chest. Exhale as you press to the ceiling, down, round, and open for 1. Stay nice and still. 3, 4, 5, 6. Be focused. They're 2 discrete movements. 7 and 8. Good. Okay, nice work. Now we're on to our last rounds of core and shoulder. All right, so you can get some water as we move into this. So go ahead and sit nice and tall for just a moment. Identify with your heart rate just a little bit. Relax the neck, relax your shoulders. We're going to be focusing on generating movement from contractions of our core. So our first one is going to be our knee raises, okay? So our legs are extended out from our body. Our knees are separated, naturally supported, straight out from our hips. Our inner thighs are doing their job to stabilize, and our heels are down to the ground. I always like to have my toes lifted. I'm going to sit nice and tall. My hands are going to be at my side. And I'm going to begin by imagining that one leg is going to become very heavy and the other leg is going to float up. And what's really going to drive it up, I'm going to stabilize my pelvis with my hamstring on my left, and I'm going to contract through my core, my obliques to pull my right knee up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, floating and descending, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything is still, 7, and 8. Good, let's switch to that left side. I've got my left hand on my left oblique. Right heel gets heavy, left knee floats. 1, 2, be mindful, straight, neutral spine. 3, 4, 5, contracting through that armpit to hip. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now sitting nice and tall, ballerina arms, shoulder blades are down, shoulders are down. We're going to twist to one side, then the other, working through that rotation. Exhale, twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your knees should be pretty stable right there. 6, 7. Our goal is to have a stable pelvis on this chair, so our knees shouldn't be going this way and that as we rotate. We want to keep them still. You might have to really think about engaging those inner thighs, lifting that pelvic floor as you rotate. Okay, let's go back to the knee raises. Inhale and exhale. And exhale. 1. Think about that belly moving all the way to the spine. 3, 4. Obliques contracting. 5 to help support that knee. 6, 7, 8. Start your exhale before you move. Don't forget that, guys. Exhale. 1, 2. Exhale, the knee floats. I'm on the left side. 3, 4. If you have your fingers in your obliques, you're focusing on that contraction there. 7 and 8. And we're trying the best we can to keep our hip flexors soft. I know that they're working, but we want that movement to be generated out of our core and not down here in our crease, okay? Back to our ballerina arms. Neck is relaxed and released. We're gonna keep a focus on our stable knees. Feet into the ground, heavy heels. Exhale as we twist and twist. Twist to the right and twist to the left. 6. Whoa, I just realized that I was counting wrong. That's 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, one more round. We often just stop at 2, but let's go for 3 today. Ready? All right, right side, left heel heavy, right knee floats. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Transverse is dropping towards your spine. Rib cage stays closed. 7 and 8. That oblique is pulling on that knee like a trap door. All right, switch sides. Left knee floating. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you guys have this sensation that one side's easier than the other. It is very normal. 7 and 8. Okay, come back to upright. Ballerina arms. Ready? 1. Now, this rotational movement, all of our mobility really comes out of our thoracic spine. So your shoulders are going to be going a lot more than your pelvis. Ideally, Our pelvis is stable in the chair and our knees aren't moving. 7. But the long story short is you should be feeling your lats helping to pull as you twist, okay? All right, now we're on to our last shoulder mobility work. So let's go ahead and sit nice and tall, extend our arms out from our armpits, thumbs up. Let's turn our right thumb down, grasp those door handles, make sure we're nice and level and relaxed in the neck, and let's start turning the door handles. 1, 2, and we're working on those deep internal rotators, moving those arms. You should start feeling it up in the shoulder. 6, 7, and 8. Now palms down, bend at the elbows, arms are at right angles. And now scarecrow arms down for 1, 2, internally rotating in the shoulder. This should be getting easier. 6, 7, and 8. All right, back to this neutral elevated position and then thumbs up, scarecrow arms up for 1, 2, and we're externally rotating. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Okay, we're going to do one more round of this in the interest of time. I see we're running long here. Let's go ahead and do our door handles. Okay, so extend those arms out. Left thumb up, right thumb down. Grasp those door handles and rotate. 1, and go for bigger and bigger movements if you can. Your arms shouldn't really be floating around in space. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Palms down, bend at the elbow, scarecrow arms down for 1, 2, 3. As we do this more and more, we're going to have more comfortable range of motion. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, nice and parallel, arms up for 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 more. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, bring those arms down. Let's go ahead and cross them in front of us. Open those shoulder blades. Good. Open the chest, send the heart forward. Cross them again. Other arm on top. Open the shoulder blades. One more time. Open the chest and then close, giving yourself a big hug, opening the shoulder blades. Good. Reach both arms up overhead, lengthening those fingertips. Now reach over with the right hand, grasp the left wrist, opening up the left side of your body. And then return to center, fingertips to the ceiling. Now left wrist grab, or left hand grabbing the right wrist, and open up to the right side, extending away. And return to center, bring your arms back down to your sides. All right, good class today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you Thursday at 10 o'clock. Have a great day. Bye.